Hey, welcome back, bookworms.
Hello. We are going to bring you It's a Bookworm Life.
For us, instead of movies, we get books. I'm not even a little bit ashamed of that.
Okay, ready? One more time. It's Bookworm Life for us. All right. We're going to talk the Book of Life.
Awesome sauce. And during the Book of Life, we have an old friend stopping by. Some of you might recognize.
Wait, I'm not...
No, we love you and stuff. But our friend's stopping by. Like, you might have to leave.
We like this Bookworm Life. It'll be fun. It'll be interesting. Stay tuned. Bookworms assemble.
I'm a symbol.
She hates it when I do that.
I do.
And I do it kind of to make her mad, but really because I get really excited because this is one of my favorite segments that we do.
What are we doing, Whitney?
All right. I had the wonderful privilege of going to see The Giver, the red carpet premiere, before all y'all. This might even be up before Friday, before even the public gets to see it.
Like, red carpet? Was there a red carpet?
It was truly red carpet.
Like down
live from the New York City premiere.
I think
Siegfried Theater.
But you didn't
Really
have a red
wasn't?
carpet. Like, was there paparazzi?
Well, technically, I go to the Regal movie theater, and I'm pretty sure their carpet's red, or at least has red in the carpet.
Touche, well played.
Mm-hmm. I'm smarter than I look. Don't judge me.
I'm judging a little bit silently with my eyes.
Whatevs.
Okay.
Anywho, the dude.
The dude, yes.
That's all I gotta say. The dude.
Okay,
We can end the discussion
time
right here.
out. I have a question.
We can go to the next segment.
I have a question. I'm full of questions.
Questions.
I'm bursting at the seams.
Bursting.
I have not read. Now, The Giver is based on a book. Correct.
The Giver is a book.
Well, The Giver, the movie, is based on a book.
Oh,
Also
yeah.
known as The
There's
Giver.
also a movie called The Book.
Yeah.
The Giver.
Let's focus here. Focus. I have not read the book. Sorry. Booze, hisses, I understand.
Which is really surprising.
It really is.
Yes, it's surprising, because you're younger than me.
But, like, this many.
Well, so, when the book was brand new, it came out in 1993. I was in the 6th grade. And it was required reading. Like, it immediately hit the required reading list.
I was counting in my head how old I would have been.
I think you were younger, so 4th grade?
I was little.
Are you two
I
years
was little.
younger than me?
I was
Or
very
3?
little.
I actually think she's probably in the 3rd grade. God, I'm old. Anyway, so it was required reading, and it is phenomenal. Awesome book.
No.
Millions of copies, tons of languages, translation.
Was it in
It's in Vulcan, I'm sure. We can find it.
Find it in Klingon. I bet if anywhere it'd be a con. But we'll talk about that another time. Okay, now let me test my understanding. The premise of the book is a futuristic type setting,
It's a dystopian setting.
a dystopian type setting, and you have the giver, right?
Yes.
And then you have the receiver?
You know, I'm going to say spoiler alert, but I think after 20 years, you had an opportunity to read the book.
Earmuffs.
Yeah. So I'm going to tell you things about the book.
You can tell you things and stuff.
I'm going to tell you things about the book. I'm not going to tell you specific details about the movie because they took several liberties like they often do. Adaptations are kind of the bane of a bookworm existence, but they did this one pretty well.
Really?
Yeah, they actually did a pretty good job.
Okay, so having read the book,
Mhm.
and now having seen the movie,
Mhm.
I'm going to ask the question that,
The age-old question.
the age-old question that every bookworm gets asked, and we always just want to smack people in the head.
Mhm.
Which did you like better? Which
What
was
do
better?
you think I liked better? It's called It's a Bookworm Life for a reason.
You enunciate a lot.
I enunciated my syllables. That is how serious I am. No, seriously though, it's a great movie. They did a very good job with the movie. It's a little odd for me because and we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
I had this movie in my head
Which I think most of
as
us
a bookworm. I've got the characters. I've envisioned these people for 20 years. since I was a little girl, where my imagination was probably even more active. Well, I don't know.
More.
I don't know about more active, but it was probably a little bit more subdued. Now it's just crazy.
It really is. Okay.
But I've had this movie in my head for years, and they didn't at all take my advice. And shame on you.
You rat bastards.
But 18 years ago, Jeff Bridges wanted to make a movie that his kids could see, make a movie with his dad, and
you mean they can't see the Big Lebowski?
He went to the children's literature that was prevalent in schools and saw the cover of The Giver, and it's this really awesome. It's a black background. This grizzled old man is kind of looking off with sorrow off into the distance, and it won a Newbery Medal.
I'm looking off with sorrow into the distance.
No, it's kind of, he's looking down. It's like sorrow is down.
Sorrow is down.
Hope is up.
Happiness is up. Sorrow is down. Okay.
Sorrow's down. And that's what struck him. And so he picked it up. He judged a book by its cover. He's not really a bookworm, I don't think. But he fell deeply in love with this novel and wanted to make it.
And so, however many years later?
18 years later.
That's like a whole person later.
18 years it took this man to make this movie. But it couldn't have happened at a better time. Lois Lowry was actually, who is the author of The Giver, was there at the red carpet event. She was there on set while they were filming the whole time. She was so eloquent with her words, talking about how happy she was that it took 18 years for them to make this movie. And as a bookworm, I can appreciate that. She said, this isn't exactly what I envisioned when I wrote the book, but now I can't imagine it any different. And I'm thinking maybe when I read it again the next time, because I do that. I reread.
I think I'll like it. I've reread. Yeah. Now, you pointed out that she was on set and she was kind of active and she was really happy. Question, because I don't know anything. Was she at all involved in the production or the screenplay? Because I know some of the best movies, or some of the best adaptations of books, are where the author themselves has had an active role.
Input. Yeah, she was a consultant, and they would talk to her about things and said, do you find offense to this? And if she did, she's a very outspoken, young, 61, 62-ish young lady. And she would say if
I don't think that word means what you think it means.
Young lady, yeah, no.
Oh, okay.
It's heart. Your age is in your heart. I have met 20-year-olds who were older than sin. And then there's me. I'm 31 and
31 most
I just turned
recently.
31. But I'm 31 and I act like I'm 12. To this day.
I think you give 12-year-olds kind of a bad rap. Maybe a little bit. Like you ever see like a toddler throw a tantrum in Walmart? Like, you know what I'm saying?
I don't go to Walmart.
Yeah, but
no offense, Walmart people.
But you are the tantrum thrower toddler in Walmart type. Not like in a bad way. Like, okay,
how can you call a tantrum not in a bad way?
Because it's attention attracting. People's eyes go to it. You are attention.
Do you want me to give you a shovel, or do you want to keep digging with your hands?
I'm gonna pull my foot out of my mouth now and just be quiet. I love you.
I love you too.
Okay.
I think that's painfully obvious that we do. But no, it was good. I really want you to go see it. They did take some liberties with the movie. It's a movie. They've got to draw in the money. But I think they did a really good job.
Usually they draw in the money with sex and violence. Was there sex and violence?
There was innuendo.
Implied sex and violence.
But it's very safe for you to go and show your 6-year-old daughter. Or 7-year-old son.
But not your 6-year-old son.
Not your 6-year-old son because he couldn't sit still long enough.
But girls can?
I think, yeah, because girls are a little bit more mature at a younger age. That's science. But yeah, no, I think that I think you could do it. So will you guys go and see the movie, please, as bookworms? I know you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it.
I'm gonna have to read the book now.
And I do want to say one more thing before we go on this segment. I actually found this out. Rev from That Stupid Podcast and I went to go see this premiere for The Giver, and we found out about the passing of a very great comedian. When the dude broke down in tears.
I have heard about that on as it was happening when the news broke.
The lights were still up in the theater. They were encouraging us to tweet hashtag The Giver while we were watching it to let us know what we were thinking about meeting all the actors, meeting Lois, meeting Jeff, meeting the producers, and which Jeff Bridges also produced it there as well.
Awesome sauce.
And he walked up to the mic and just broke down. And so we do want to have a moment of peace for the late great. And I know lots of people are doing that, but we don't care. We love him too. So just one moment of peace.
Robin Williams, we love you.
We do. And I think that you guys need to go see the movie. There's a lot of heart. There's a lot of emotion. It's life and what we can do with it. And I think you should definitely check it out.
You heard her.
The Giver. Hashtag.
Hey guys, this week on Hit the Books, we have a very special guest who has decided to drop by again. Some of you may recognize her as the Dr. Beth. Say hello, Dr. Beth.
Hi.
And she has graciously decided to come back after much begging and pleading, like, please come back to us, to come back and talk about another book. And this book we are talking about, some of you may understand what we're talking about, and if you don't, oh my god, stay tuned. We're talking about the latest book by Miss Deborah Harkness.
It's called The Book of Life, and it's from a Discovery of Witches trilogy, or the Book of Life trilogy.
I think it's called the All Souls trilogy. And
Yes,
the first
you're
book
right.
is Discovery of
You are
Witches. The second book, which I can never remember the name of, Night something Night. Shadow of Night. Shadow of Night,
Yeah.
and then now the most recent book, The Book of Life.
Yes.
Now, we both read this book,
Yes.
and we were both really trepidatious, because I know by the end of the second book, I was going, what the heck? What the heck is going on here?
Well, the first book was so awesome. I mean, the first book was spectacular.
Really
Had
good.
all of the best parts of a plot and a mystery and a love story and great characters and a strong female lead. It was awesome. With all of the little supernatural
That we love. We love that.
basically,
Witches and vampires.
witches
We
and
love that
vampires and demons. Oh my! So it was great, and it just kind of pulled you in, sucked you in. Easy read. I was done. Second book.
Wah, wah, wah. It wasn't a bad book. I'm not going to say it was bad, but you took... Now, you guys have heard me rant about
I'm gonna
this
say
before.
it was bad. I'm gonna say
Difference
it
of
was
opinion. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the read of it, but... And I've ranted about this before. They took a strong female character and kind of made her a wuss.
They took a strong female character who's supposed to be a professor with a doctorate and turned her into a Harlequin romance puss.
I said wuss. She said puss.
I did.
It's funny.
So...
Now, having read the third book, though, I have a little theory. I have a theory in my head. My brain's a percolating. In the second book, it was...
Deborah Harkness didn't write the second one.
I think Deborah pulled this one off. I'm just saying. The second book was very much about her, our main character, trying to find herself a little bit. That's the whole reason. That was the whole point of the book. She was attempting to find her place as a witch, as a woman, as a person. And because in the third book, she kind of comes
As
out
a
balls
daughter.
swinging. She really does. She comes out and they clank. Towards the end of the book, she's really kind of got her mojo back. And I wonder if the second book, kind of being, oh dear, where is my husband, was a deliberate move on the part of the author.
So that there's more of a contrast, you think?
Not even necessarily so much of a contrast, but more trying to show us the kind of emotional place that our character was at. She was very much lost and leaning on other people because she didn't know who she was.
Well, and she was in like Elizabethan England, which would confuse everybody. I mean, good God, those collars.
I kind of like the cod pieces.
Oh, that's fine,
What's
but the
the throw at it?
collars were kind of a pain.
Like up here, like up at this.
Well, and the panniers were the big, and and God, the thing that cut you in half.
The corset-y thingamabob.
Yeah, except they were conical. They weren't even like your shape. They were actually conical and flatten you. Yeah, they just take all your stuff and
So
smush
big
it.
women not happy in
No.
Elizabethan England.
No.
But so I was kind of thinking maybe that was the why of it. Like I'm trying to justify what happened in the second book, and I'm hoping that maybe it was a tool used by Deborah Harkness to help us see the transformation. Am I being overly optimistic?
Maybe I still hated that book. However, the one part that I did like about the second book was the relationship with Philip. and I really do. And not to give too much away for people who haven't read the trilogy, our male lead, this is his stepfather. This is his sire's husband, and that's another romance of the ages is Isabeau and Philippe throughout the ages. So them developing, and so her other role is as a daughter, and that comes out in this third book because as the Bloodsworn daughter
of the
Declaremont,
like the main dude,
the man, then it changes her role in this whole family menage. It changes a lot of things. There's a lot of power struggles, and not everybody's real happy about that.
A lot of unhappy people.
There was a lot of unhappy people. What I thought was interesting, I was happy with the fact that Harkness grabbed a hold of some cojones again and got this gal back into some power of her own. And that part was good.
That was I like how the last book in the series ended. I think everyone kind of came. They had a very good denouement. Everyone kind of came back around to where we kind of wanted them to be. I think. However, I will say I have one kind of criticism of the third book. It should have ended a chapter sooner.
Very likely, I think it drug on and got a little. That horse is dead. We can stop beating it.
Like
now.
We get it. They're happy and stuff. Just close the book. Close
That's awesome. Yeah, you can stop now. I have one problem with the book. This switching back and forth for POV is a huge issue for me. As a writer and as a reader, I'm sorry, but going from I, me, mine to he said, she said, they thought, and everyone implied is kind of an issue for me because I get confused. And there wasn't even really rhyme or reason to that because she might be in the scenes where they're doing third person point of view, but then turn around and
the next one is first person.
And she's still there. And now it's I did this and I did that from Diana's point of view. And I have a problem with that.
I've seen it done well when the author uses it as a tool.
Yes.
But in this case, it was really very random. I didn't feel like I was gleaning anything extra from these different points of view. I didn't feel like I was learning anything more about the characters. It was a little confusing.
No, it was horrible in the way it was done. It really was not done well. I too have seen it done well, where basically, especially in like some serial killer mysteries and stuff like that, where you have the he said, she said, they thought, and everyone implied parts. And then suddenly you're inside the head of the killer, and you're seeing what he sees, and you're experiencing
theirs. It's an effective tool to elicit an emotion.
Yes, it is. But this had no purpose whatsoever.
It was
just random. Like, now we're going to write from Diana's perspective, and now we're going to write from disembodied whatnot, and look at everybody. Do you think
she was sitting there at a keyboard like, you know what?
I just forgot.
I'm going to try some shit out right now. I'm just going to see how this works.
I think if it came across, I don't know what her intent was, and she may have actually had a conscious intent with this and it didn't come across right, or maybe not to me at all, but even if she had, I felt more like it came across as she forgot which point of view she was writing from. Like that's kind of where it came from. I kind of forgot
what I was doing. Let's just do it over here.
I'm gonna talk for a minute like I'm Diana. And now I forgot, and he and she and they and whatnot. So it came across as if she wrote like these two things entirely and then forgot that she wrote them from two different points of view.
And decided to mash them up.
And mush them up together, yeah.
Now, I will say, one of my favorite things about the third book, and it was this completely throwaway line that was given out by Diana when she's talking to one of her human friends, her normal friends, not a witch, not a daemon, nothing. And she mentions that Buffy the Vampire Slayer has become the tool by which everyone judges the supernatural. And she says, whatever creature introduced Joss Whedon to us is going to have a lot to answer for. And I was like, she made a reference to my favorite universe of all, and there was a Buffy reference, and that
I saw that, and I knew you were probably giddy and having
I think I was on the couch going,
I think you were having a squee moment.
I was like,
pretty sure.
And I never squee.
And she never squees.
I was like,
she really doesn't. But I was pretty certain you squeed on that.
I did. I was like, Joss Whedon Buffy reference. Thank you. My day is complete.
Yes. There was a couple of decent lines that I really
laughed.
did enjoy. There was some nice... Isabeau is one of my absolute favorite characters on the planet because she is the snarkiest little vampire on the planet.
French aristocratic. And I thank you, first
and
of all,
she is snarky as crap, and
for
I love
saying
her.
that name. Because I've been
Isabeau.
reading that name for 3 books and have no idea how to pronounce it in my head.
It's the Old English and Old French version of Elizabeth. So, of course, I
I'm
know how to pronounce
old in English or old in French. But thank you, because I'm sitting there going, yes, Isabeau.
No.
Isabeau. Isabeau. I couldn't say it.
Yes, her name is Isabeau,
Isabeau.
but she also had a different name at one point in time, and we find that out in this book.
And I like a little bit about this 3rd book because you get a little more backstory on some of the secondary characters, and I always find that interesting.
Well, yeah, because I love finding out about Isabeau and Hamish.
I like Hamish
and Gallaglas.
And Gallaglas.
I love Gallaglas. In my head, he is a big, huge, Hagrid-looking biker dude.
He really is. I mean, that's how he's described.
I love him. He's just awesome. The fact that at the formal dinner, his idea of formality was wearing black jeans, a black T-shirt that said "Keep calm" and "Harley on." I was like,
that's a dude I would have a drink with.
We would probably have a lot of drinks with that one because he's
very like
he drinks a lot. Actually, he's typical Scotsman kind of until he falls asleep on a big tabletop or something.
That's a guy I want to party with.
And it's not bad to have a vamp with you, that can like snap people in half.
I mean, you guys know me. We've talked about this before. I'm a vamp lover. I'm a fang banger, coffin bait, whatever you want to call it. I like that. I am down for that. So
I did enjoy the way that they tied up the witchcraft and how they did that part, and I actually liked the sciencey bits. For the DNA
most of the sciencey bits I don't even get.
I enjoyed the sciencey bits, of course, and
these glasses only make me look smart.
I enjoyed the sciencey bits. I enjoyed the DNA part. I enjoyed the explanation of how creatures evolved. So I dug that in a big way, and I dig how like the big bad is dealt with, and that's all I'll say about that.
The big bad does kind of get the most royal of smackdowns, and that was really interesting to watch.
That was fun. That was a lot.
I say watch, but I mean read.
Well, you see,
I do work sometimes.
That's one thing that Deborah Harkness actually does very well is imagery. I think she really does some very fine imagery. Not so much of the scenery, of the places, but in how she describes magic, how she describes what the people look like. I can see them very clearly in my head, and I can see what the magic looks like and what all 10 knots look like in my head.
And see, that's a kind of an issue I have with a lot of supernatural based books where they're talking about magic or this, that, and the other, and they can't describe it. They can't. First of all, you can't give me the rules of the universe. I have to have the rules of the universe. Am I the only one who does that?
No.
Okay.
You're not the only one.
If you're gonna say there's magic and there's this and there's that, you gotta tell me how it works. You gotta tell me the rules of it. You gotta tell me, this can happen, this cannot happen. This is the. I kind of like to have the physics behind it.
Well, yeah. I mean, and it's okay if your main character that you're kind of following along is kind of learning the rules, so you don't get all of them up front.
Kind of like Harry Potter-esque.
Yeah, I'm kind of, I'm okay with learning as they learn, but I like for the rules to stay the same too.
And
I don't like people tweaking on me the rules. I don't dig it. But she didn't stray too far from her original concepts on that, so I was pleased with that. And she didn't actually stray too far from the concepts that are actually out there if you want to Google stuff. So
fairly realistic portrayal then.
Yeah.
Although I will say this is my last critique of the book. And I'm going to say this again, and I cannot say this enough. Authors, readers, movie makers, stop giving me vampires that don't have teeth. I can't stand it. I don't care if you want to make them sparkle, if you want to make them...
I care if you make them sparkle.
I don't care about none of that.
I mind a lot if you make them sparkle.
The minute you give me a vampire without fangs, you've lost my interest. I can't stand it. How do you bite people? How do you bite people if you don't have fangs? You have like just really sharp normal people teeth? That's stupid. Stop doing it. And that's your last critique?
Off
the soapbox, and now I'm done.
All right. So
give me fangs.
That's That's your last critique. My last statement about the book is that I think she managed to redeem the last one, which was
I'll agree with you on that one.
The only reason in my mind at this point that second book exists is to bridge what happened between the first book and the third book, because otherwise we'd be going, when did that happen? And where did that come from?
I actually did that anyway. I had to go back and skim. But okay. Overall thought, as the series, would you recommend it?
I would recognize the series. I would totally recommend the series. I would encourage people to read all three of them.
Stick it out.
You're lucky if you hadn't started it yet, because now you've got all three and you're not going to get stuck on the second and go, oh hell no, not ever again.
Screw this.
Yeah, because that's what I almost did. She almost lost me. I almost didn't get the third book because of that second book. It was that god awful in my opinion. But
I won't go so far as to say the second book was a deal breaker. It completely turned me off. But I would also recommend the series. I would say definitely check it out. Do it in one long swoop. That's the way I kind of like to do it. But again, it's Deborah Harkness, and it's the All Souls trilogy. The first book is A Discovery of Witches. It's even out on paperback now, so no excuses.
And Kindle.
And electronic-y things. You can do that too. But it's on paperback. I have all the books in hardcover. But anyway, so Deborah Harkness, All Souls, check it out. It's super awesome.
Yes.
Hey guys, we're going to wrap up the show with a little bit of epilogue. You know what that
Epilogue.
means? We're going to throw everything against the wall. Just because we want to.
Well, I mean, this is when we have a bunch of little stories that we're really excited about.
Or kind of mildly excited about.
I'm always really excited.
You're excited about everything.
That's true. I'm like a little chihuahua.
Oh my god.
Well, actually, it's not chihuahua. We were seeing the
This
It's
is
a
a
Bookworm
rat dog.
live. Oh, I'm not a rat.
Well, the little rat, like you put them in your... Don't do that. That's creepy.
It's kind of like my predator. My
Okay.
little pincers with Harry Potter.
We're focusing.
Okay, epilogue is just where we got a bunch of stuff and I want to say it all.
Okay.
And Casey indulges me. That's really what this boils down
That's
to.
what most of this boils down to. Okay, now I want to talk about, just briefly, something that you brought to my attention, and then I believe I heard it from someone else as well.
Okay.
And this is kind of a David versus Goliath story.
Ooh, I like it when people do the little 1-2.
Yeah, they team up and they take down things. In this case, it's Google.
Do you think they're going to take down?
Oh, not even.
Well, I'll let you start.
Not even a little bit. But they're going to attempt, and that we think that's cute.
Mm-hmm.
It's Google has teamed up with Barnes & Noble. Now, I love me some Barnes & Noble.
Okay, Google Shopping has teamed up with Barnes & Noble bookstore?
It's the same. What?
But
they
what?
understand Google and Barnes & Noble. They don't need to know anything else.
I'm just confused.
I'm sure you are.
I mean, I brought it to your attention, but I thought it was just like another let's, fight about Amazon thing. But
we do have lots of Amazon like hate and love on this show.
Hate and love. Love hate.
Well, speaking of
It's
Amazon,
online.
Google Shopping and Barnes & Noble have kind of teamed up a little bit because let's face it, Amazon is like he's the Goliath.
Amazon is the Goliath. I'll give you that.
And he kind of like he reigns over his little
Big
Goliath giant
corporation.
man. He does that. I think of Amazon as a he.
And so Google and Barnes & Noble are joining up how?
They are joining up in an attempt to compete against Amazon. Now this is, and I mean as far as...
So you're talking about book delivery.
Yeah, book delivery.
Okay.
And I think right now it's only been tried out in a couple of places.
So I know that Amazon does same day shipping on books in like Manhattan and LA, West LA, San Fran. So San Francisco, sorry. So they're probably doing those 3 cities as well.
I think so.
Okay.
I think that's pretty much what they're working
As
on.
a little test market.
As a little test market.
A little soft sell.
To see how well it goes over. Because, I mean, really you can't beat... I mean, Amazon for convenience. People shop Amazon for convenience because it has everything.
Right. I mean, that's why you do Amazon. That's why you buy your books there, because you're already there watching something, putting something on your Kindle. So that's cool.
And I mean, really,
I'd like to see the options. Competition.
competition is healthy, and Barnes & Noble needs to kind of pull back into the race a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I shop often at my local Barnes & Noble. I like Barnes & Noble.
Well, because, okay, and this is going to sound really weird, but 5 years ago, you would have heard us be like, death to Barnes & Noble, it's the big corporation. But now it's the only bookstore around because
you
they killed
can't
all the mom
find
and pops.
anything else.
So now this is the mom and pop.
And I mean, they're really struggling because of things like Amazon. And I think it was 63 stores they've actually closed in the past 5 years.
Wow.
that have just closed their doors. And these are
brick and mortar businesses that shut down.
And kind of even gathering places. And I mean, you go to a bookstore, and it used to be, you have your little cafe, and mostly books. And you went there to get books and to talk about books. And I met people in the bookstore and made fast friends there. And they keep closing these doors down in lieu of these kind of big Amazon, get it now,
and
get it fast.
You can't even say digital books anymore either, because their Nook business is down 22% at the end of the year 2013. The last quarter, that's a huge number.
And I'm guilty of it myself when I say, hey, I want to order this book. I can't find this book at my local bookstore. I'm going to go to Amazon.
Well, I mean, most people have a Prime membership or have a student membership where they get free delivery, or over $25 you get free shipping.
It's tempting.
It's easy. It's free shipping. So, I mean, this is really interesting that Google Shopping is trying. And I think it's free shipping right now. Like, while they're doing their little testing. I think that's free shipping.
So, if you're in any of those areas, hop on that little bandwagon.
Take advantage of it, because I'm sure their prices are a little bit lower right now, too. So
you save on shipping. The first one's always
free.
Save
on your money. So, yeah. That's
like
not
drug
too bad.
dealers.
Well, I'm awesome. I'm excited you had an epilogue story. You never have an epilogue story. What?
I felt like sharing today.
Aww. Your heart is growing another size today.
It did not shut up.
It did totally grew. Another size. You're up 3 sizes right now. Instead of 3 sizes too small, you're now average.
I'm mediocre and have feelings like a normal person.
Hey, that's good. Step up in the right direction.
I'm proud of myself.
I have a story too.
Tell me about your story, because I have no idea what you're talking about.
Mine's kind of a fun fangirl, fanboy, cross all the planes. It could have gone on Bookworms Assemble, but I really kind of wanted to rant on The Giver. So.
Tell us more.
Supernatural. Who watches it?
I have watched it.
I know that a bunch of you out there watch it.
I know a bunch of people who watch it.
Mm-hmm. And I know a bunch of that stupid podcast viewers watch it.
I think they do.
All right, so Misha Collins, who plays Castiel, who is an angel who helps the boys. The boys. I mean, they're the boys. They're Winchesters. I mean, who's not going to help them? Anyway, I'm going to get all hot and bothered if I'm not careful.
No, they are cute. I've seen enough to know that they're cute.
Yeah. Okay, so Misha Collins loves Twitter. Loves Twitter.
Strike one.
Don't strike one, because I'm very, very quickly turning into a tweeter. I'm a tweet. I'm a lover. I love it. Hashtag everything.
Oh, no more hashtag.
I love it. It's so much
fun. Stop hashtagging.
Okay, so not necessarily the hashtagging, but the tagging and like the networking with people that I've never met before. I have made so many friends that I can talk to about random stuff. There are authors that are following me, that I follow them. We promote each other. They're promoting our show, so thanks, guys. I just have really fallen in love with Twitter. And Misha Collins is a huge person on Twitter. Loves Twitter. And he does something called, and I had to write it down so that I don't mess it up, the greatest international scavenger hunt the world has ever seen.
Dun dun dun.
No, like that's the official title.
That's a mouthy title.
Yeah. And it's all these little, it's got an acronym, but I can't even begin to say it. So he takes tasks. Shatner is one of the big team leaders. So you can have a team, and you can have as many people on the team as you want, and it's all over the world.
What
it's
are
a
you
worldwide
searching for?
scavenger hunt. He gives you a list of tasks that you have to complete, and you have to take record of it by pictures, by however it is.
Do you have an example of one of the tasks?
I have several examples. So some of the examples include a duct tape bust of an actor, a Skittle portrait. You have to make a Skittle portrait. You have to make a shark costume for your kitty cat. And there was one that I'm really excited about, and this is why I brought it to our attention, because we're bookworms.
What is it?
An original story by a previously published sci-fi author. It has to be 140 words or less, because it's 140 words on Twitter, or characters on Twitter. So we kind of just pulled that into a story. And it had to have Misha in it, the Queen of England, and you're going to have to say this word correctly, Oedipus.
Oedipus?
Mm-hmm. Which is a character. So you have to have all 3 of these people in this story. And what was funny is Neil Gaiman tweeted out to all his followers, basically, I'm paraphrasing huge here. Okay, this is great. It's for charity. Leave me alone. I'm not writing you a story about Misha. It was hysterical. Good luck in your ventures, but I don't want to do this. Find some other schmuck to write your story for you.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. I got really entertained. And if there are
I
other
think it's
authors
a little mean.
that took
Like,
to it...
like, you're mean, Neil Gaiman.
Well, I mean...
Like, shame on you.
The thing is there were several authors that actually tweeted about this. Because it is a tweet... It's a tweet-based scavenger hunt. Twitter, tweet. You know, you tweet. Tweet-based. Instead of an email-based or a picture-based. But yeah, so I just thought that was really funny and really interesting.
It is funny.
So, Neil Gaiman called you out, Misha. What are you going to do about it?
Like,
I didn't see him respond yet,
that's
so
a burn.
it is a little bit of a
Like,
burn.
want some ice for that
But
burn?
it's really funny. You don't mess with authors.
No,
Authors will cut you.
They are some...
We have some authors in our group of friends.
Temperamental is not the best word I would use to describe them.
We actually, a little author put a ring on your finger, and we kind of avoid him with certain verbiages because, you know.
Attack!
Yeah. Beast mode activated.
Like he will Hulk out on you. Semantics are!
Yeah, so we just found that really funny, and I just wanted to share that with you guys because I wanted you to check it out. So
I probably won't, but
Speaking of Twitter, at Darth Crow, with an E on the end, at Slayer Stick, and then check us out at thatstupidpodcast.com. And right here, in this general region, please click the little dude going, ah!
Is that, how does it go again?
Yes, ah!
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Yeah. Because he is who you can subscribe with. And I say he because it's a dude, even though, like, we're not represented on this. And what's up
Seriously,
with that,
like,
guys? That Stupid Podcast, come on.
We're 50% over here.
It's a bookworm life for a
chick.
reason. Yeah, 50% of the network is woman-based.
Is ladies.
Hear us roar.
Do we need to have the hammers and hoo-ha talk again? Because we will. Like, don't make us
All right, we'll let you have the little guy screaming. But please subscribe to us. Check out the other guys' shows. Because they
pretty
can
hilarious.
be funny.
I mean, they're not like us funny. But I mean, they're within their own right.
I mean,
You give them a little clap.
So check us out, and we will see you soon, guys.
See you next time.
Bye.
All right.
You're rolling out. That's fine. It doesn't matter.
Nothing special hit the button.
Doesn't matter. It's fine. Although that might hit
actually
the
like-
gag reel now.
Okay.
I actually like that better.
Okay. All right. And fuck. I've lost all control. Okay.
Just flip the table.
Fuckers. And 3, 2, 1.
Hi, guys. Welcome back.
Hi.
Stop. Stop.
You
Stop.
looked at me like I was supposed to say something.
Okay.
Sorry.
Welcome back, bookworms.
You want to say that?
You start.
Okay.
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 3, 2.
And that's it. Go away. And we're done.